Hey everybody, this is the area that is the right side of my driveway, and the same place that, because of the power lines up above, the power company decided to spray a couple years ago. So as you can see, Mother Nature is making her rebound, and I am required, as it were, that if I want to have power lines going to my house, that I have to provide a right-of-way access, and the power company has the right to maintain that access. And I have a verbal agreement with them not to spray, that I will maintain it, so I have to uphold my agreement. And also, I have learned that the people who are contracted to come do the spraying are told that if there is landscaping there, do not spray. So if somebody's planted a flower bed or whatever. So we're going to knock out two birds with one stone. I'm going to maintain this as promised so that they won't spray. And just in case somebody hasn't been fully trained on the protocols, I'm going to turn it into a big flower bed so that they make no mistake and don't come in here and spray. So if you look up here, this is all totally overgrown and dead from winter. But there are two little tiny swales right here. One right there you can make out really well, and another right there, and they're planted with various things: butterfly bush, zinnias, oh goodness, lantana. There's even a common milkweed that it was the only one I've ever found on the property that I did my darndest to safely transplant up here. And there's also some milkweed. It's not common, I can't remember the variety of it. So these will stay, but what we need to do is mow this area, excluding the volunteer elderberry bush. We need to mow this area, and then we're going to till a good portion of this hill, and I've got all sorts of fun things to plant up there. Somebody with more experience on a tractor could probably finesse that a lot more than I can, but that's the best as I'm going to do on the tractor. You see there's like a little rise that goes down into where the culvert is, and that goes back to a little sitting area. But that area right there, there's just no way for me to maneuver the tractor right there. You can already see where I gouged up the dirt. So the rest of this will have to be done by hand, but then you can see a little more clearly now the area that's going to get the flowers planted in it. It gets sunlight very first thing in the morning, and then it's shade throughout most of the day, and then come about 2 o'clock it gets full sunlight again. That is until about summer, around June or so, and then the sun will clear these pine trees and will take more of a trajectory from behind where that telephone pole is there, directly over above, and this will be sun the entire day, and then it'll set back in, well, let me see if I can do it here, set right there in that little notch of trees is where the sun will go back down. So it's shade right now, but in a month and a half or two it'll be full sun. So now what I'm going to do is bring over some rabbit and horse manures, and also some blood meal, and rake that into this area. And then we've got some plants to plant, some bulbs to put in, and some seeds to spread. You'll find out more about what they're doing in the background in a few minutes. But first I want to say that one of the important things that we're planting in this bed was a gift that we got from Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. They also have a great YouTube channel, and I want to say thank you to them for sending over this chamomile seed. He shared on his channel about this chamomile that he has that grows in a lot of different locations on his property, and just how well established it is. And I made a comment about it, and he said, I'll send you some. So we've got the chamomile seed here from Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, and we're going to incorporate it in this flower bed. Okay, so here we are. My helpers came out, and Arthur did a big part of helping out with getting all this hay together that we're going to use as a covering in a minute But before we do the covering, I wanted to show you guys how all the bulbs and things are planted. So Brandon and Tracy were in charge of this trench right here. This is going to hold some Peace in the Valley flowers, and we've got some more bulbs over there, and there's all sorts of little beds of different bulbs and lilies. And Kaylin was in charge. Where's your holes, Kaylin? These three here. So Kaylin dug these three. And just for good measure, we decided to put in, I've got a, I think it's called Bonfire or something like that, a peach tree that's an ornamental. We'll go ahead and just drop it in there, and we're not even sure what fruit tree that is back there. Perhaps it's another plum that we had. We're not even sure. And a rogue blueberry behind Kaylin there, and some Russian comfrey to kind of fill in that corner. And now what we're going to do is fill this entire area with various seeds, different wildflowers. We've got a whole bunch of different things. Just kind of went crazy at the store. We got two different mixes. One that's good for sun, that's going to go up in this area here, and then another one that's good for shade, that's going to go back down where Brandon is, because it'll get a lot of shade in the afternoon. So that's kind of what's going on. And we'll see how all these patterns work out once everything starts to come up. We've also got several different, that stick there is representing where a bleeding heart is. And this is a sweet bush where that stick is. So all sorts of good things going on. That's a little bit of green coming up right there. That's a hydrangea. So anyway, all right, we're going to finish up getting the seed on the ground. All right, everybody, it's done. You can see we've spread the hay out across here. It's supposed to sprinkle pretty good tomorrow, but we got the sprinkler running now to kind of settle things. Angel, get out of there. I swear. Well, kids, thank you so much for all your help. They're loving the freezing cold water coming out of the sprinkler. Most of this stuff will really be showing next year. A lot of it are bulbs, and we're kind of planting them a little bit late, so they're probably really going to show off next year. But some of this stuff is definitely going to come up this year, like zinnias and marigolds of all different kinds of varieties, and some different wildflower mix that had a couple annuals in them that are sure to come up. Everything that we planted either was a perennial or an annual that readily reseeds itself. So we're hoping to see how this thing evolves over time and which plants really take precedence and predominate the area. One last thanks to my friend over there at Piney Meadow Farm for sending over the chamomile. We actually planted that down here at the very bottom near the swale. So we'll look to see how it goes. But thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Say goodbye, kids.